Hey, hello, fellow foodies and Pampered Chef peeps. This is Dina Perry, your Pampered Chef consultant and friend, coming to you tonight with supper, okay? So you may not be watching this in a nighttime episode. You might be watching it during the day, or maybe you're up late and just needed to scroll a little. But I hope this recipe gives you great ideas, tips, and tricks to use in your own home, because as I know, you can sure get in a recipe rut. How do I know this? Been there, man, been there. And in fact, when I started Pampered Chef 12 years ago, I knew nothing about cooking. Maybe a frozen pizza, maybe chicken nuggets, mac and cheese from a box, that I could do, but the rest of it, no way. But tonight, you're gonna find me making a French onion meatball recipe that was from our Taste Buds subscription, and I'm really looking forward to it. So let's get started. So first thing you need to know about me, if you don't already, is that I am definitely a recipe girl. I tried something new with that cottage cheese craze yesterday. It didn't turn out so great. But you gotta try, right? So I get back up, and today I'm doing this recipe. So I needed to have 2 small onions thinly sliced. So to do that, I'm using our Rapid Prep mandolin. If you've not seen the new mandolin, let me show it to you. This one is not gonna hurt you guys. The blade itself, you take your food and you put it into the hopper here, and then the blade goes up and down like this. So you're not moving the food over the blade, but instead the blade over the food. So you'd actually have to put your hand down into this chute to hurt yourself. So let's not do that, okay? Just a suggestion. So we're just going to do this last bit of onion. I need 1½ small onion. Now you might notice that this is going to be more than that. It needs to be thinly sliced, so I have it on 1. And more than that, I'm going ahead with these 2 because we're going to be having burgers tomorrow night. So I'll just save this prep time, make it into, if you are prepping things, why not prep for the whole week, right? Instead of just doing it one thing at a time. So there's my onions. You can see they're super thinly sliced. That was on the #1 setting. I say that you can do this kind of like, if you think of it as potato, you could do whole potatoes, you can do French fries over here, or you could do like a hash brown setting. So you have different settings, and then this dial is for how thick you want it to be. This is where it collects. You can do peppers, cucumbers, zucchini, carrots, so many things with this. I highly recommend. It's one of my top 5 favorite things, the Rapid Prep mandolin. So I'm just going to set these onions over here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take them. It says to put the onions on the bottom of your baking dish. Now I'm going to be using our 9x13 stoneware, glazed stoneware. Look how pretty this is, you guys. Oven to table ready, right? You don't have to put whatever in something else to serve. You can serve this right onto the table for your guests and family. And, you know, treat your family as guests and your guests as family, that's really something true that I like to stick to. So stoneware is iconic with Pampered Chef. You're gonna love it. It's actually, if you're watching this in October, 25% off this month. So you can put this in the refrigerator, the freezer, you can put it in the oven. And on the bottom, if it has this wavy pattern, which this does not, but if it had a wavy pattern, you could even put it in the dishwasher. All right, so here's our stoneware, and I'm supposed to put about 3/4 of this and layer it onto the bottom. Oops, we got a skin in there. Not sure how that happened, but we'll just put it over there. And just put it all in the bottom of this baking stone. Baking stones are great because they retain heat. So like if everybody's not at the table all at the same time, your food can remain warm or cold, I guess, depending on where you were storing things. You can sure make a cold cake in here if you wanted to, or I don't know if an ice cream cake would maybe work in here really well. But I'm just kind of spreading them all over. That looks to be about 3/4 of that, so I'll just set that aside. Okay. So that's what we have. I found a piece of skin here. I'll just go ahead and take that out. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, what do you think? Looking good? Covered all in the bottom. All right, so then I need to take the French onion mix, and this is a soup mix, and it came in my Taste Buds recipe, and the recipe is saying that I am to sprinkle 2 tablespoons of this. So I will use one of our tablespoons. I love our tablespoons. They have a flat bottom, so if you want to fill them ahead of time, you can just set them down and they're going to stay flat. They also click together, so you don't have to keep looking for them in your drawer. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle 2 tablespoons of this. Ooh, I wish we had smell-o-vision. Really good. Okay, over the bottom of these onions. Perfect. Okay, we're going to set it aside because we're going to use it some more here in just a little bit. Okay, and then it is telling me to top with half of the butter, which is half a stick of butter. And it wants the butter to be thinly sliced, right? So what we're going to do for that is use the quick slice. And look how cool this is going to do it, guys. It's going to cut these into pats of butter. So if you would want to use, like, make pats of butter, how cool is that? You can do it. And then I'm just supposed to put them throughout. So I'll do that. And there we go. All right. That looks good. All right. So that's that. You never, by the way, this quick slice is amazing. You can use it for everything except root vegetables. So one thing you don't want to do, though, is ever poke up through the bottom. That's super, super sharp. They are in a V shape, so you don't want to do that. So just put it back in here in the holder and set it aside. All right, so we've got our pats of butter on there. I think the next thing I'm supposed to do is, and I'll make sure because I'm a recipe reader, right? So I am going to take, it says you can use either white wine or chicken broth. Since I don't have a recipe that's going to require chicken broth this week, I don't want to open that up and waste it. So I did have a little bit of white wine left from an event, so I'm going to go ahead and pour that, use that and pour it over, and I'm going to pour it right on top of these onions and butter and the onion soup mix. All right, there we go. All right, and then we'll set that aside. Very good. Okay, now the next thing I need to do is kind of just set that to the side, and we're going to make the meatballs. So let's do that by using our mixer, okay? So we're going to use our deluxe stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer yet, this might be one you want to consider. It does have an on-off switch, so I'm going to turn it on. You have several different beaters. You have a dough hook that comes with it. You have this beater that has a scraper attached to it, so you don't have to use something to scrape down the sides of the bowl. And it also has a whisk function, so you can make your frostings and that sort of thing. So I've already put a pound of hamburger in here. The recipe actually called for turkey, but we're hamburger people, so that's how that goes. And so we're going to combine the hamburger. I have a half a cup of breadcrumbs here, and I used our dry measuring cup for that. The other one I used for the white wine was our Easy Read measuring cups. Those are for liquids. And then I am supposed to combine an egg, which I've already broken up and put in our little 1 cup prep bowls. I like to prep that stuff ahead of time. And then 1 tablespoon of the soup mix also goes in here. So I'm going to grab that same tablespoon, and we'll just put it right in there. And why not a little extra? Okay, so that is what we have there. Set that aside. I'm going to put the paddle down into the meat mixture. It says to mix it, so I'm just going to set it to mix. And then that automatically sets it at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You can customize this. You can even add 30 seconds if you wish. The other things are custom, whip, cream, beat, and knead. So we do have all those settings. Love that. The bowl is stainless steel. You push it to set the mix, and look what happens. It shows you which paddle you want to use. And then you just go ahead and click, and it'll go. This is going to mix up your meatballs instead of you having to use your hands. If your meat is cold, that can really hurt your hands, and this just seems like a little more sanitary to me. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to mix it up. So you can also, if you have chicken and you need to shred it, you can put it right into here and it will shred your chicken for you as well. So of course it does all the normal things like your baking, mixing up your brownie mixes, your cake mixes, making your frostings, your icings, your cookie mixes, your bread mixes. It does all of that. But I love it for the savory functions as well. And isn't it pretty? I love the blue color. It's so pretty. So, all right, here we go. We're really mixing it up now. And once this is done, we're going to form about 20 meatballs and place them on top of the onion mixture. So, I actually think this looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it. It says pause, but I'm going to cancel it. And then we can just turn it off and lift the handle. You just take this, and voila, meatball. That's a spicy meatball. Now, I'm going to use, I bet it's not really real spicy. I'm going to use our large scoop because you can use this for more than cookies. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my hand. I know I said I wasn't going to do that, but I just did, didn't I? Well, that's how that works. And I didn't like the shape of it. I don't like a flat bottom meatball. That's just all there is to it. So you do what you want to do at home, but definitely this is a way when you use a scoop to get a consistent size of your meatball. And if you can get consistency with the size of your meatballs, you're going to get a consistent cook as well. Same as with cookies and things like that. So this is the part where Burke will most undoubtedly make it go faster when he makes the video. So Burke, that's your hint. All right, so all the meatballs are made. I got about 16, so again, use the medium scoop if you don't want your meatballs quite that big. I'm going to pop these into our preheated oven of 425 degrees for about 26 to 28 minutes. All right, well the meatballs are out of the oven and I can't pick them up because oh yes I can. My silicone mitts are right here so I can just quick show you what they look like. Amaze! I was going to say amaze balls.
You did it.
Yeah, I did it, right? All right, so then what you do is, we're going to leave that there, and we're going to top them with these baguettes all over that have been brushed using our silicone brush with melted butter, and also then I added a teaspoon of the French onion soup mix to that, mixed it up well, and then brushed it over these thinly sliced baguettes. And I've got about 16 of them in here. So I'm just kind of gingerly laying them all across. And then we are going to top them with about a half a brick or 4 ounces of shredded cheese. Now, if you don't shred your own cheese, you buy it pre-shredded, I get it. It's totally, it's easier, I get it, but it's more expensive. So grab a grater from Pampered Chef and grate your own cheese. This is Swiss cheese. So now I'm just gonna put that over the top. Ooh, this looks pretty darn good. And then we're gonna pop this back in the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes. There we go. And I love these flexible cutting mats because you can just flex them and get all of the goodness there. Don't miss a strand of your cheese. So there's that. And now we're just going to take them, pop them back in the oven. Hey, so it's all done. Yep, our French onion meatballs with baguette and Swiss cheese. Look at this, you guys. Can you see it still bubbling? So good. So Burke and I are going to eat this for supper tonight. If you're interested in getting more recipes like this, check out Taste Buds on my website at www.pamperedchef.biz, that's B-I-Z, /Dina Perry. or you can always text or message me. I would love to hear from you. What are you making for supper tonight? Put it in the comments. Talk to y'all later. Bye, Pampered Peeps.